Light tank. Light tanks prioritize speed and agility over armor and firepower. Typically weighing between 8 and 25 tons, these vehicles excel in reconnaissance, rapid strikes, and flanking maneuvers. The concept emerged during World War I with the French Renault FT-17 introduced in 1917. This groundbreaking design featured a fully rotating turret that influenced all future tank development. By World War II, the class had evolved significantly with models like the American M5 Stuart, weighing 15 tons with a 37mm gun capable of 36 miles per hour. The British Tetrarch served as an airborne tank weighing only 7.5 tons and featuring a 2-pounder gun. Germany fielded the Panzer II with a 20mm autocannon, while the Soviet T-70 mounted a 45mm gun and saw extensive Eastern Front service. Post-war development continued with the American M41 Walker Bulldog featuring a 76mm gun and the Soviet PT-76 amphibious tank capable of 6 miles per hour in water. The United States M551 Sheridan, introduced in 1966, combined a 152mm gun launcher system that fired both conventional ammunition and Shillelagh missiles. The M10 Booker weighs 38 tons and mounts a 105mm gun with advanced fire control systems entering service in 2023. Heavy tank. Heavy tanks emphasize maximum armor protection and devastating firepower over mobility. Weighing between 40 and 70 tons, these vehicles were designed to withstand concentrated enemy fire and break through fortified defensive positions. The concept originated in World War I with the British Mark I, introduced in 1916, weighing 28 tons with steel plating up to 12 millimeters thick. Heavy tanks reached their peak during World War II with the German Tiger Thrömer entering service in 1942. This formidable vehicle weighed 54 tons and mounted an 88mm gun with frontal armor reaching 100 millimeters thick. The Tiger II, or King Tiger, increased weight to 69 tons with 180mm frontal armor. Soviet heavy tanks included the KV-1 at 45 tons with 75mm armor and the IS-2 featuring a powerful 122mm gun capable of defeating German armor at extended ranges. Cold War heavy tanks like the Soviet T-10 reached 50 tons with a 122mm gun, while the American M103 mounted a 120mm gun and weighed 58 tons. The rise of anti-tank guided missiles and high-explosive anti-tank ammunition diminished the tactical advantage of heavy armor. Main battle tanks gradually replaced dedicated heavy tanks by combining protection with superior mobility. Medium tank. Medium tanks balanced armor, firepower, and mobility to create versatile combat vehicles. Weighing between 25 and 45 tons, they proved more cost-effective and easier to produce than heavy tanks while maintaining effectiveness across multiple roles. The concept originated with the British medium Mark a Whippet during World War I, weighing 14 tons and reaching 8 miles per hour. World War II established medium tanks as the dominant armored vehicle class. The German Panzer IV weighed 25 tons and mounted a 75mm gun that underwent continuous upgrades throughout the war. Production exceeded 8,500 units, making it Germany's most numerous tank. The Soviet T-34 revolutionized tank design with sloped armor, a 76mm gun, later upgraded to 85mm, and a powerful diesel engine. Over 80,000 were produced. The American M4 Sherman weighed 33 tons with a 75mm gun and featured exceptional reliability and ease of maintenance. After World War II, the medium tank concept evolved into the main battle tank. Vehicles like the American M46 Patton and Soviet T-54 represented this transition by integrating enhanced firepower and protection. Main battle tank. A main battle tank combines heavy armor, powerful firepower, and tactical mobility into a single platform. Weighing between 40 and 70 tons, these vehicles serve as the backbone of modern armored forces. The concept was formalized at the 1957 Tripartite Conference, where American, British, and Canadian military leaders agreed to develop a universal tank replacing separate infantry and cruiser tank classifications. The British Centurion, introduced in 1946, is considered the first true main battle tank. Weighing 52 tons with a 17-pounder gun, later upgraded to 105 millimeters, it combined the firepower of heavy tanks with medium tank mobility. The American M60 entered service in 1960, featuring a 105mm gun and composite armor reaching 120 millimeters thick. The M1 Abrams replaced the M60 in 1980 with a 105mm gun upgraded to 120 millimeters in later variants. It demonstrated exceptional performance during the Gulf War, destroying hundreds of Iraqi tanks with minimal losses. The Soviet T-72, introduced in 1973, mounted a 125mm smoothbore gun with an autoloader reducing crew to 3. Modern main battle tanks include Russia's T-90, Germany's Leopard 2, Britain's Challenger 2, China's Type 99, South Korea's K-2 Black Panther, France's Leclerc, and Israel's Merkava. Super heavy tank. Super heavy tanks exceeded conventional heavy tank specifications with extraordinary weight and armor protection. Weighing over 70 tons, these vehicles represented ambitious attempts to create invulnerable fighting platforms. Most remained experimental and never saw combat service. World War II produced the most notable examples. The German Panzer VIII Maus reached 188 tons with frontal armor of 240mm and a 128mm main gun, paired with a 75mm secondary gun coaxial gun. Only 2 prototypes were completed before war's end. The proposed Landkreuzer P-1000 Rata would have weighed 1,000 tons with 280mm naval guns and 128mm secondary armament. France's Char 2C entered limited production in 1921, weighing 69 tons with 75mm gun and crew of 12. Britain's Tortoise heavy assault tank reached 80 tons with a 94mm gun and frontal armor of 225mm. 6 prototypes were constructed after World War II, but never entered service. The advent of tactical nuclear weapons and improved anti-tank missiles rendered super heavy tanks obsolete. Their massive weight created insurmountable logistical challenges for transport and deployment. Tankette. Tankettes are small tracked armored vehicles designed for light infantry support and reconnaissance. Typically weighing between 2 and 4 tons with minimal armor protection, these vehicles resembled armored cars more than traditional tanks. The concept emerged after World War I as militaries sought affordable mechanization solutions. British engineer Gifford LeQuain Martel developed early designs in 1925, leading to the Cardin-Lloyd Tankette. This vehicle weighed 1.5 tons with armor up to 9mm and carried a crew of 2. The Italian Fiat L-3/33 and L-3/35 weighed 3.2 tons with twin 8mm machine guns, seeing extensive service in Ethiopia, Spain, and North Africa. Over 2,000 were produced, making them Italy's most common armored vehicle. Soviet tankettes included the T-27 based on the Cardin-Lloyd design and the T-37 amphibious variant capable of crossing rivers. Japan fielded the Type 94 weighing 3.4 tons with a single machine gun and the Type 97 Takei at 4.7 tons with a 37mm gun. By World War II's end, tankettes proved ineffective against modern anti-tank weapons and infantry tactics. Germany's Weasel armored weapons carrier revived the concept in 1989, weighing 2.7 tons with various weapon configurations. Infantry tank. Infantry tanks prioritized heavy armor and infantry support over speed and maneuverability. Designed to advance alongside foot soldiers through enemy fire, these vehicles featured thick armor protection and low speeds rarely exceeding 15 miles per hour. The concept emerged in the 1930s as British doctrine separated tanks into infantry support and cruiser roles. The Matilda Thurman, introduced in 1938, weighed 11 tons with armor up to 65mm and armed with a single machine gun. Its successor, the Matilda II, increased weight to 27 tons with frontal armor reaching 78mm and a 2-pounder gun. The British Churchill infantry tank entered service in 1941, weighing 39 tons with armor up to 152mm on later variants. Over 7,000 were produced, with variants serving as flamethrowers, bridge layers, and engineering vehicles. France fielded the Hotchkiss H-35 at 12 tons with 34mm armor and a 37mm gun. The Soviet K-51 blurred the line between heavy and infantry tanks at 45 tons with 75mm armor and a 76mm gun. By 1945, the development of faster universal tanks like the Centurion eliminated the need for specialized infantry tanks. Cruiser tank. Cruiser tanks emphasize speed and mobility for rapid exploitation of breakthroughs and flanking maneuvers. Designed by the British military during the interwar period, these vehicles sacrificed armor protection for higher speeds and operational range. The first significant model was the A9 Cruiser Mark I, introduced in 1937, weighing 12 tons with armor reaching 14mm and a 2-pounder gun. The Cruiser Mark V Covenanter entered production in 1940, weighing 18 tons with a 2-pounder gun and capable of 31 miles per hour. The Crusader Mark VI improved reliability and saw extensive North African service, weighing 20 tons with a 6-pounder gun and speeds reaching 27 miles per hour. The Cromwell Mark 8, introduced in 1944, represented the pinnacle of British cruiser tank development. Weighing 27 tons with a 75mm gun and powered by a Rolls-Royce Meteor engine producing 600 horsepower, it achieved 40 miles per hour. Despite impressive speed, cruiser tanks struggled against heavily armored German Tigers and Panthers. This led British designers toward the universal tank concept, combining cruiser mobility with heavy tank protection. Flame tank. Flame tanks are specialized armored vehicles equipped with flamethrowers designed to clear fortifications, bunkers, and entrenched infantry positions. These vehicles traded conventional main guns for flame projection systems capable of engaging targets at ranges between 50 and 200 yards. Significant development occurred during World War II as all major powers fielded flame tank variants. The Soviet KHT-26 and KHT-130, based on light tank chassis, carried flamethrowers with fuel tanks in the hull. The British Churchill Crocodile represented the most successful design, appearing in 1944. This vehicle towed an armored trailer containing 400 gallons of fuel connected by reinforced hose. The flamethrower replaced the hull machine gun while maintaining the 75mm main gun, providing an effective range of 150 yards. American flame tanks included the M4A3R3 Sherman, equipped with a Canadian Ronson flamethrower system. The M4 Sherman with E4-5 flamethrower saw extensive Pacific theater service where Japanese fortified positions required close-range engagement. Post-war flame tanks declined in use due to the Geneva Convention restrictions and development of more efficient incendiary weapons. Specialist tank. Specialist tanks are purpose-built armored vehicles designed for specific non-combat roles on the battlefield. These vehicles sacrifice offensive capability for specialized equipment, enabling bridge laying, mine clearing, recovery operations, or amphibious assaults. The concept advanced significantly during World War II, particularly during Operation Overlord. British engineer Percy Hobart developed numerous specialized tanks known as Hobart's Funnies based on Churchill and Sherman chassis. The Churchill Armored Vehicle Royal Engineers carried fascines for crossing ditches and bobbins that deployed canvas roadways across soft ground. The Sherman Crab featured a rotating flail with weighted chains that detonated mines and cleared barbed wire. Post-war specialist tanks expanded in capability and diversity. The American M60 armored vehicle launched bridge deploys a 60-foot scissor bridge capable of supporting 70 tons within minutes. The Soviet PT-76 light amphibious tank weighs 14 tons and crosses water at 6 miles per hour using hydrojet propulsion. Modern specialist tanks include the M1 armored breacher, equipped with mine plows and line charges, the Kyler mine-clearing vehicle with heavy rollers, and the PZH-2000 self-propelled howitzer, providing indirect fire support. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and drop a comment. See you on the next one.